Good morning, sir. I am the first reporter of the Group 8, and I will discuss the first part of the Chapter 9, which is the languages in variation and languages in context. We all know that English is a universal language, and it is widely used across the globe. But a person's speech pattern is different from the speech pattern of the other. Even though for example, me, I have a speech pattern and the other one has. Though we speak the same language, but it will never be possible that we has the same speech pattern. And regional varieties of language differ because of the features, vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. It happened to me a year ago when we were into face-to-face classes. My classmate called me and told me, Luy, asa man ka? And then I don't know who she is because I didn't phone book his number on my cell phone. That is why I get to know her name because of her voice. And it's a clear indication that she is Daika. The recognition of her voice alone is because of the idiosyncratic combination of the voice quality, pronunciation, grammatical usage, and choice of words. That is why I get to know her immediately. Our voice quality, our timbre are determined by the anatomy of the vocal tract. Let it be the hard palate, the tongue, the soft palate, or any other parts of our vocal tract, which states that it has less or without control of our speech. Other voice features can be controlled, like ample tempo, loudness, and some to the extent of our speech, but none of these is constant. Our voice quality changes over age, it changes over time. Because when the time our muscles and tissues deteriorates, of course, our voice will change. As well as there is no constant when it comes to grammar, when it comes to words, and pronunciation as well will change. So, I am talking about idiolect. This is the speech variety, just like other people around the globe. For example, in the Philippines, we can identify Mike Enriquez, President Duterte, Manny Pacquiao, Karen Davila, Mark Logan. No? They are using the idiolect. That's why we people have different speech patterns. All speakers make use of several idiolects depending on the circumstances of communication. That is why, if Karen Davila is a newscaster, therefore, she will be more formal. She will be formal in using words. That's why, also as a reporter, they uses that in order for them to identify, for them to be identified. Another example for this is that when you are having your family dinner together, you will be using a casual conversation to your family. By the time a person gets out of that house, for example, in an office, the way you communicate will also change. It is the fact that there is a specific phenomenon, the speech variety used by a particular individual. This time, I will be explaining to you dialects. Often, people who live in the same geographic area, have similar occupations, or have same education or economic status speak relatively similar idiolects compared to those from other groups. These shared characteristics may entail similarities in their vocabulary, their grammatical features, and their pronunciations. When all the idiolects of a group of speakers have enough in common to appear at least superficially alike, we say they belong to the same dialect. The term dialect then is an abstraction. Dialect is a form of language or speech used by members of a regional, ethnic, or social group. That is why all languages spoken by more than one small homogeneous community are found to consist of two or more dialects. That is why if a person living in the same economic status, the same jobs, it is expected that they will be using the same word, the same pronunciation, the same grammar. That is why they will be considered using as their dialect. Because it is spoken in so many different areas in the world, English is particularly diversified dialectically. Speakers' home countries may be guessed from their pronunciation, from the use of certain words that the characteristic of specific varieties of English. We get to know a person with their dialect when they are using the words that where they come from. For example, the Canadians to book off, to notify an employer that one is not reporting for work, of the Irish spalpeen raskar, of the Scots cutty scarce short or undergarment, and of the British to knock up or to wake up someone by knocking on the window. That's how we can determine their dialect. The dialect of American English is likely to find it quite difficult to understand. Because, for example, when a cab driver in London speaks Cockney, the dialect of London's East End, even though both speak dialects of the same language. Though English is their language, but they came from different places. A cab driver and a visitor or a tourist may use words that the cab driver doesn't know, that the commuter only knows. English was brought to North America during the 17th century by colonists from England who settled along the Atlantic coast from Maine to Georgia. The language of these colonists consisted of dialects, reflecting the social stratification and geographic division of their former home country. Today, despite English is used, there are still varieties of it because this place, for example, place A uses English, place B, place C, place D uses English as their language, but they use it differently. That's dialect takes place. Today, there will be people that will transfer from one place to another because of work or retirement or any reason they have. Nevertheless, certain regional dialects in the United States nga maka-identify ra gihapon sa ilaha nga dialect are those of from Boston, Virginia, or Texas. That is why a vocabulary of a person is very useful in identifying where they come from. For example, the dragonfly. We know that the word dragonfly came from that certain place because of its words. So, in Pennsylvania, the dragonfly is a snake feeder. In eastern North Carolina, as mosquito hawk. In New England, as devil's darning needle. In coastal New Jersey, as spindle. In Northern California, as ear sower, and so on. The way individuals speak vary. This time, I'm going to discuss to you the styles. Its definition is the distinctive manner in which people express themselves in a particular situation. And this is something to do also, and it is comparable with how we dress ourselves or how people dress. Since it is comparable, for example, when my friend wants to attend a birthday or a seminar or a wedding program, it is expected that she will wear a formal or a casual dress. For example, if she wants to go hiking, biking, or any leisure activities that she wants to, she can wear appropriate dresses for that sport. And then, if she only wants to roam around, she can use blouses, sneakers, or anything she wants to wear. And it has something to do with the words. In colloquial, you say, I'm mad. When you say it's a vulgar expression, you say, I'm pissed. When it's less formal, you say, angry or aggravated. So that's under more formal considerations. Stylistic variations are not only lexical but also phonological. For instance, the casual pronunciation of butter with a flop R rather than the dental morphological as in the casually style. For example, when you ask someone, who are you taking for lunch? Is against the formal way of saying it, whom are you taking for lunch? Or syntactic as in, wanna eat now? Or and against, do you wanna eat now? A stylistic or dialectal variety of speech that does not call forth negative reaction is used on formal occasion and carries social prestige is considered standard. And there are 5 clearly distinguishable styles of this. Let it be frozen, intimate, casual, uh, consultative, or formal. It really depends on the situation you are into. The style is related to the situation you will be attending. The formality or the less formal or intimate or even vulgar informality is up to you as a speaker. On how you play words and how you express your thoughts. It is all about you. The world is yours.